Well, new developments now in the story about China's Me Too tennis star who seemed to vanish more than 2 weeks ago. Chinese state media are claiming to show photos of Peng Shuai, but CNN can't independently verify that those pictures are from her or that they're current. Meanwhile, the Women's Tennis Association is telling CNN that it's willing to pull its business out of China if Peng isn't found safe. Well, she hasn't been seen in public since accusing China's former vice premier of sexual assault. Well, CNN's Will Ripley is following this story for us.
Silenced and disappeared for speaking out.
Peng Shuai.
That's what many fear is happening to Peng Shuai. The 35-year-old, one of the top-ranked doubles players in the world, accusing China's 75-year-old former vice premier of coercing her into having sex. Peng's shocking claim erased within 30 minutes from Chinese social media. That was more than 2 weeks ago. Peng vanished from public view ever since. Her Weibo account, with more than 500,000 followers, blocked. The tennis world outraged. Serena Williams tweeting she's devastated, shocked, saying this must be investigated. On Wednesday, an email claiming to be from Peng released by a state-owned broadcaster. The email retracts her allegations, saying, "I'm not missing, nor am I unsafe. I've just been resting at home and everything is fine." The man who received the email, the head of the Women's Tennis Association, is not convinced.
For us to see an email that basically denied what that happened and said it didn't, and that all is great, I'm just struggling to agree to that and don't believe that's the truth at all.
The WTA is demanding proof Peng is okay, a probe into her allegations, and says it is prepared to pull out of China, potentially losing a lucrative 10-year deal.
There's too many times in our world today when we get into issues like this that we let business, politics, money dictate what's right and what's wrong.
The fury comes just weeks before another high-dollar event, the Beijing Winter Olympics. Peng, a 3-time Olympian. The IOC staying out of it. Experience shows that quiet diplomacy offers the best opportunity to find a solution.
The WTA have been quite bold compared to other organizations that have interests in China. They've really come out swinging.
China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs refusing to comment.
This is not a foreign affairs matter.
U.S. President Joe Biden is considering a diplomatic boycott of the Beijing Winter Games. The Chinese patriarchy has long been accused of suppressing the rights of women and minorities. Government censors cutting off CNN's coverage of Peng Shuai's disappearance. But China cannot censor away the outrage and growing demands for answers. Will Ripley, CNN, Taipei.
Well, the UN is adding its voice to those demands, calling for proof of the tennis star's whereabouts. CNN's Patrick Snell is also watching this story for us and joins us now live. Good to have you with us, Patrick. So the UN is demanding proof, like many organizations. The big question is, where is she right now?
That is the big question. You know, we saw those social media posts, those photos, and CNN cannot confirm their authenticity or veracity. But look, without just to set it out for our viewers worldwide, Peng, without question, one of China's most recognizable sports stars. I can't emphasize that enough. She's a 2-time Grand Slam doubles champion. Here's what we do know for sure, Linda. The 35-year-old not been seen in public for a number of weeks since she made those allegations that were detailed a little earlier. And I do want to focus in more on the stance, and it's a very strong and really hard-hitting stance being taken by the Women's Tennis Association. Steve Simon is saying, and really spelling it out in no uncertain terms, that he is absolutely willing to lose what could well be hundreds of millions of dollars worth of business in China if Peng is not fully accounted for and her allegations are not properly investigated. Just to broaden this out a little bit further, China slated to host 10 high-profile events on the women's circuit next year. There's this highly lucrative WTA finals slate, a 10-year, 1-decade plan worth hundreds of millions of dollars. That's what's on the table here. That's what's at stake. So let's hear more now from Steve Simon.
we're at a crossroads with our relationship, obviously, with China and operating our business over there. There's no question about it. It's something that's actually very sad because we have some amazing relationships over there and have developed some unbelievable programs that are really introducing the sport to a lot of young Chinese players that want to become the next Li Na, the next Peng Shuai, and all of those types of things. So it's very exciting. And we've had a lot of success over there. You know, I think that when you look at this, though, there's too many times in our world today when we get into issues like this that we let business, politics, money dictate what's right and what's wrong. And when as you reflected earlier, when we have a young person who has the fortitude to step up and make these allegations, knowing full well what the results of that are going to be, for us to not support that and demand justice as we go through it, you know, we have to start as a world making decisions that are based upon right and wrong, period. And we can't compromise that. And we're definitely willing to pull our business and deal with all the complications that come with it, because this is certainly, this is bigger than the business.
Yeah, as I said, Linda, very powerful, hard-hitting words there. And, of course, Li Na, who was referenced there, she was a real pioneering, groundbreaking career of her own, a two-time Grand Slam singles champ when she won the French Open and the Australian as well.
And Patrick, it's interesting to point out how there's so much interest in this story. Anytime CNN discusses it in China, TV screens either go to black or they go to color bars. Give us a sense of how the world is reacting, Patrick.
Yeah, we've seen a growing momentum over the last few days of high-profile athletes weighing in, making their stance, and of course really few bigger names other than the American global superstar Serena Williams. She had a powerful tweet as well, and you know, when Serena speaks, Linda, the world of tennis and beyond really does sit up and take notice, and rightly so. Serena tweeting, "I am devastated and shocked to hear about the news of my peer Peng Shuai. I hope she is safe and found as soon as possible. This must be investigated. We must not stay silent. Sending love to her and her family during this incredible, difficult time," with the hashtag #WhereIsPengShuai. And I mentioned other big names from the sport weighing in. We had Japanese superstar Naomi Osaka, really the first to get the ball rolling in a very powerful way earlier in the week. A giant of the men's game too, Andy Murray of Scotland as well. There is no question, not only is this growing, this is continuing, but the international concern for Peng as well growing. I mentioned earlier, she's not just a two-time Grand Slam doubles champ. She's a three-time Olympian. She's represented China at the 2016 Olympics in Rio, London 2012, Beijing in 2008. Of course, Linda, Beijing has the Winter Games coming up too, early next year. And with that in mind, we got this statement earlier to CNN from the International Olympic Committee, and the IOC distancing itself from putting pressure on Chinese authorities to give clarity as to the situation, saying, quote, "Experience shows that quiet diplomacy offers the best opportunity to find a solution for questions of such nature. This explains why the IOC will not comment any further at this point." That statement earlier this day from the IOC and to us here at CNN. Back to you, Linda.